What's up, everybody? This your man Tez, the logistics rookie, and today I just want to talk to you guys about how to set your own rate as an independent courier. And basically, I'm just going to talk about a situation I went through last Friday, to where I did my first load where I set my own rate. Because if you guys been following my journey, you know that I've been getting a lot of my loads off an app, you know, working with this company, and the rates have already been set for me. But this time I had to set my own rate as an independent contractor. You know, as an independent courier, setting rates can be difficult. I don't know about, I can't speak for everybody else, but I can speak for myself. You know, I knew coming in how I wanted to set my rate because it was in my business plan. And the number one way that I tried to set my rate was by focusing on the mileage. I knew if I focused on the mileage, the cent per mile, then they were gonna pretty give me a big bang for my buck. My bad, y'all. Get this camera straightened up, man. But anyway, yeah. So last Friday, I had a situation to where my mentor, his wife, contacted me to transport 3 hospital beds for them to an assisted living facility that they own. Now, you guys know the size of my cargo van, and you guys know the size of a hospital bed. And you know there was no way possible that they would fit. But I was under the impression maybe these some different type of hospital beds. I don't know the exact size, because she didn't know the exact size of the hospital beds. She said they were twin, but I still didn't know the length or the width, because my cargo space is so small in my truck. We talked about that in previous videos. So I got over there 25 minutes before she did. So I had to wait till she came to the facility, because she bought the hospital beds from a few guys who were selling them at an oil company. As crazy as that sound. So turns out the previous owner of the beds, they sold them to these guys who were owners of an oil company. So we had to meet them over there at their warehouse, and they had the beds just laying out in the front for us. So I had to wait 25 minutes until she came, because she had to be there present to pay them. So I get there, I see these beds. Now maybe one of them could have fit, but come to find out, the beds was 150 pounds each. So the guys who owned the oil company that she was buying the beds from, they had a box truck in the back, and they was like, you know what? We just going to transport these for you, but we are going to need him to help us unload it and get it into the assisted living home. I was like, would that work for you? She said, that'll be perfect, because not only could we transport all 3 beds at the same time using a box truck, but also they had another guy there to help them get the, because like I said, these beds was 150 pounds each. That's all I weigh. I'm 150. That would have been a lot, man. That would be impossible for me to do by myself. And like I said before, my van space is so small, I was only going to be able to take one at a time. So I would have had to take one bed to the assisted living home, get that in the home, and go right back to get the other 2 beds, one by one. And mind you, that was a 25-mile trip. So the guys with the box truck, they decided to we all decided to get the beds, put all 3 of them on the box truck and just transport it that way. And she was gonna pay me, you know, simply for helping them get the beds in the home. So that's pretty much how I got paid. But it took us 65 minutes just to load the freaking beds, cause she had to go through all the necessary paperwork to pay these guys. Then it took 3 of us to put the 3 beds on the freaking box truck. It was me, one of the owners of the oil company, and his wife. That's how tough it was, man. So all that in total took 65 minutes. So we started driving. That's 30 minutes, 25 miles. We arrived at the assisted living home. That was another, what, 35, 40 minutes of unloading. Actually, it took 37 minutes to be exact. When we arrived at the assisted living home, it took us 37 minutes to, you know, unload the beds. Me and the guy, we were struggling. The rooms were so small, so we had to go through a lot to get those beds in. So that was another 37 minutes. So let me give you the full breakdown. The total time that it took to complete the job was 146 minutes. That's 2 hours and 46 minutes. 2 hours and 45 minutes, my bad. And first, I had to consider the labor. No, I had to consider the equipment. 3 beds, they weighed 150 pounds, 450 pounds in total. The beds were worth $1,500 in reality, but she got the hook up for $175 per bed. So I had to consider that. The wait time, like I told y'all before, that was 65 minutes. So I had to charge her 25 cents per minute. So all the time I was sitting up there waiting, I would charge her 25 cents per minute. Time is money. Don't play with your time. The labor fee. Like I said, the beds in total weighed 450 pounds. And that was a lot of work for me and that guy. This guy, I mean, man, we struggled. This guy almost crushed his fingers trying to literally get them freaking beds, man. So we were going through a lot with those beds. So I had to charge her 5 cents per pound because the bed, it was just completely overweight for her. I had to put an overweight fee in. Anything 75 pounds, 75 to 100 pounds, I'm charging you an overweight fee. Point blank, nothing to think about. So I had to charge her 5 cents per pound. You do the math on that. What, that about $22? So then I had to add in, of course, the mileage. It was 28.6 miles in total, deadhead and loaded miles included. So I had to charge her $1 per mile. So that was $28.60 right there. So at the end of the day, it all came out to about $67.35. That's how much I charged her. So when you are doing these small jobs like this, on the fly, somebody hit you up, hey, I need you to haul such and such. You need to consider the type of equipment you are hauling. How much does it weigh? The labor fee, the waiting time, deadhead miles, loaded miles, and the load and the unloading time. You know, consider all those when you're trying to come up with a rate, because I know it may get confusing, especially for us rookies like myself. It can get confusing when you're first starting in the game to determine, hey, how much should I charge this person? The most general thing would be to charge by the mileage, but do not overlook these things that I just listed out for you, including the overweight fee. Make sure you have that. So, but when you are trying to come up with a rate or negotiate a rate between a business When you are trying to contract with somebody, that's totally different. When it comes to doing that, you need to consider your monthly expenses for your business. How much fuel will I spend in a month? The maintenance. What's my truck payment? What's my insurance payment? Do I got employees? How much I need to pay them? And also, you need to consider the total miles that you can expect to be driving for the whole month. You need to calculate that. Consider all that when you are trying to get a contract with somebody, but that's a whole nother ball game right there. But in terms of doing these little small independent jobs, somebody hit you up to do some quick work, you need to consider the type of equipment, how much does it weigh, charge them an overweight fee if it's 75 to 100 pounds or above, charge them for your unloading time, charge them for your loading time, charge them for the total mileage, deadhead and loaded mile included, and that labor fee. You know, if you got to help driver assist, basically, if you got to help unload and load it out the truck. So that's pretty much all I got for you guys today, man. Just consider all of those factors when you are trying to get a rate for these small jobs. But contracting, that's a completely different story. But if you guys got any more questions, hit me up in the comment section or follow your boy on Instagram at Mr_Tez. That's T-E-Z. But this your boy Tez, the logistics rookie. Y'all stay focused, keep grinding. 100.